Hello and welcome to the last lesson of MPB's boot camp for ACT math portion. I am Ms. Killen here to make sure you get the best possible math score on this ACT test. So this is lesson 20 and we're looking at commonly used content. So we've looked at different questions, we've looked at different problems, we've looked at different strategies on how to work the problems, we've looked at all the different things that we can use in the strategies. We've looked at possible support that we can get. We've looked at how we can pay for it. We've looked at where we can do it and what we can use on it. So now let's look and see what type of content we can really think about looking for and working on this test. So here we go. The first thing that you have is 6 topics in these reported categories. You've got number properties, you've got factors, you've got fractions, your distance, which is your measuring on coordinates or on number lines. You have the matrix math. You've got to make sure that you're understanding how to use that matrix math and on your calculator. You can also look at complex numbers. Now, each of these can appear in integrated essential skills. Just because it's a fraction, that doesn't mean it can't be used with maybe looking at some proportions or maybe it's looking at some distances. So you can have these woven in together. It can also be in some of the modeling questions. So you want to make sure that you are paying attention to all of these different factors and those different contents and concepts. All right, so here we go. You've got your algebra. Obviously, we've all had that algebra course. You're looking at your evaluating your expressions, you're solving your 1 and 2 variables, solving those systems of equations, your percentages and your percentage change, solving those one variable inequalities, solving those compound inequalities. You can't forget those absolute values, that scientific notation that we started out with in that 8th grade and those essential skills. Looking at those binomials, those trinomials, those quadratics, solving those quadratics, and then obviously that slope and related topics when dealing with graphing. So all of that context in algebra, we can look back and see the number properties and all of those different things. So I don't want you to say, I didn't know. I want you to make sure that you do know. All right, so then after the algebra, you've got functions. You've got function notation and compound functions. You've got symbol items. You've got the different symbols that you have to know. You've got your exponential functions. You've got to make sure that you're understanding them. Obviously, your domain and range, your isotopes, and other features of graphs. There's so much of graphs that we have to know and that we have learned. You've got the different sequences and logarithms. We've got calculator skills. We have formulas for all of these. You want to make sure that you're remembering those. Next is geometry. There's a lot of geometry that used to be on the ACT. Since we've got this new ACT, they're trying to get as much as one of the other. So you can look at lines and angles. You've got triangles. You've got your specialty triangles, 30, 60, 90, 45, 45, 90, and their applications. You've got your coordinate geometry, circles, quadrilaterals, all the polygons that you can think of. Then you're looking at shaded areas, maybe the area of the shaded area, maybe the area that's not shaded. You've got your compound figures. You've got a triangle that's helping with a circle and a square, and it's all making this big figure. So you've got to remember how to look at those compounded figures. Then you've got that trigonometry, sine, cosine, and tangent. Then you've got the cotangent and the secant and cosecant. You've got all of those that we have to remember. And then you've got your dimensions. You've got your solids, you've got your 3-dimensional, and then you have all of the different formulas that goes with getting those measurements. So those are a lot of things that we need to make sure that we remember to look at and practice on. You've got your statistics and your probability, measuring the center of tendencies, data and graphic literacy, probability period. We've been doing probability since, 7th and 8th grade? You've got your permutation, your combinations. You've got your statistical sampling and modeling. So we have been doing these since the 8th grade, and we've just built on them as we've gone into our higher math. So we don't want to forget the basics that we've learned. Now, you've got some designated support. Designated supports are adjustments to the test environment, and most require advanced planning. Okay, so local educational agencies have the authority to provide any of the designated supports listed in that accessibility supports guide on that ACT. Now, if you need to know that, I do have the website here that you can look for the different accessibility supports for that ACT. So you need to make sure that you're looking. Maybe that you need a little bit extra, maybe a smaller classroom, maybe you need to have more time, maybe just a smaller group of people in there with you while you're taking a test. All of these are available, so you want to make sure that you are knowing everything that you possibly can about not only the content on the ACT, but taking the ACT as a whole. You want to make sure that you've got that. Now, guys, we have gone over a lot of material. We have looked at questions, we've looked at strategies, we've looked at supports, we've looked at all the things of ACT. But what's really going to help you get the best possible score with this ACT portion of the math is to make sure you practice. And I've been saying this for the last 20 lessons, but I do thoroughly think that if you will just practice everything that we've gone over, you will do wonderful. So, I am Miss Killen, I am from MPB, and I'm hoping you get the best possible score. And remember, always practice, practice, practice. Have a great day.